Hey everyone, welcome to D&D Fuzzy Tales, I'm Machina. Today's story, by Lords of Jupe, is about a rogue player who conducted a mutiny in the worst way imaginable. Let's begin. Setting: pirate campaign in the islands, mostly centric on establishing a few trading posts, a hideout, and a covered shipyard for the manufacturing of a small fleet of warships and a planned deployment against a rival nation-state. Dramatis personae. The game was 5 sessions deep when trouble was brewing. The resident rogue and the bard-flavored rogue were butting heads about who constituted as the captain of the flagship of the fleet. At this point, they had commandeered a total of 5 ships, and who was second mate. Given that exactly one of them had a background in piracy, helmed a ship, served as a ship's carpenter, and took 2 traits regarding this, nobody else was confused. Abel was in charge, and had been a benevolent-ish dictator, as befitting a good captain and team leader. So begins a very unpleasant exchange of in-game actions, wherein Charlie is plotting to overthrow the captain and seize power. They have ideas about shutting down the war efforts and focusing on strictly raiding coastal villages and settlements, a practice long since abandoned by the majority of other pirate crews, as unprofitable and kind of lame, as those are not a likely place to score good quality loot, and that shipping lanes is where it's at these days. The other PCs are approached individually and asked if they were going to back his play. And each one of them, including an NPC being controlled by my significant other, a kobold hostage named Cutter, used as a combination of scout, trap detector, and cheap entertainment by dint of being forced to literally sing for his supper. Chaotic good ain't chaotic nice, I tell you. All stated that they were not going to do anything like that, and would be siding with their duly elected captain, Abel, and likely turn him in for attempted mutiny. A thing agreed upon as being a severe crime against the ship and its crew. Cue the day of days, the election for a new ship's captain, and Charlie makes his big move. They have a full 24 NPCs gathered for the election. A few were likely candidates for the job, and not once did Charlie try to butter up, threaten, or so much as bribe for votes. I kept the roster for the assorted plays for power and influence, assigning values for the individual efforts, rated 1 to 5 in 4 categories. Charlie's tally stood at 0, 0, 0, and -1, respectively. The next lowest score was for Cutter's pet fire elemental monkey, Jasper, with 1, 1, 1, and 2. So, not a likely candidate. He steps to the forecastle to start his sales pitch/speech, then suddenly turns to me and says his fatal words. "I use my wand of fireball on the gathered crowd." Shocked faces at the table. Nobody saw this move coming, least of all myself. I thought that the group was a more coherent thing than this. I mean, sure, it's got internal power struggles and even mention made of a coup, first stated as being bloodless and a change of adventuring ideas, not, this. Nothing that the players can't figure out on their own. So I said that initiatives were in order, and that what he was doing was likely going to see him with, at the minimum, a very unpleasant experience, and no crew of merit would follow someone that damned stupid farther than the end of the docks once word got circulating about it. He refused to change his stated course of action, clarifying that he was aiming mostly for his former shipmates. Initiatives are rolled. He's not dead last, just behind every person in the crew, including Cutter. The first shot is by the captain, who pops a flintlock round directly at the wand, knocking it from his hand and stating that the next wound drawn would be terminal. Everyone agrees to hold fast, waiting for Charlie to make a smarter play. Nope. Goes for a spell of Summon Master 2, a horse. Reread as much of the story as you can. Visualize the utility of a horse on a pirate ship, sitting in the bay of a pirate community. surrounded by people normally populating said community. A horse! The captain, he is stunned by this and does nothing. Says that he'll hold action and wait for the next move by Charlie again, readying his next shot. Charlie's horse is then used to attack Abel, prompting Baker and Echo to unload on him with a combination of sleep and Undyne's curse, which is a rotten way to passively kill someone. You pass out, can't organically remember how to breathe, and die in your sleep. It was used to good effect when the team was building their fleet. One failed save, followed by the second, and the mutiny/attempted mass murderin is abruptly concluded. Charlie attempts a table flip, rages on for a few minutes, and is uninvited from future games at the venue. Echo's home. The voting continues, and Baker is elected as the new captain. They named the ship after Charlie's character, Charlie's Demise. Proudly, it served as a floating medical station and resupply vessel until it was sunk to blockade a narrow river delta and secure an inland empire's best trading route. It's my understanding that Charlie has since gone on to running a series of campaigns starring his former game friends as stuck villains, and features an old, disguised NPC of mine as a laughing stock of some sort. So ends the story of Charlie and Charlie's Demise. I don't know for you, but I sure didn't expect that rogue to try to use fireball on all those people. Normally you see horror stories associated with wizards doing that. And how did he expect people to try and follow him after he tried to murder them? I don't know what the intelligence score was for the character, but the player sure had a low one. Tell us what you think in the comments. Make sure to stay tuned for our next videos, and stay safe.